It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It's just my opinion.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Sway. That's right. Welcome to the channel where I give you my absolute honest opinion and I don't give a flying. How you feel about it? And I'm taking a walk, so I do not have my trusty smokes or trusty coke. I'm a dumbass. I take my camera out, my Canon M50. I take my camera out and everything, I set it up so I can start doing this vlog. And I walked the distance that I needed to walk for this vlog. And I go to turn on my camera and it's not turning on. So as I'm trying to figure out how come my camera is not turning on, my dumbass realizes there was no battery. Okay? My dumbass realizes there was no battery. And yeah, there was absolutely no way that I could start the vlog with my Canon M50 without a battery. And I refuse to walk back to the house. I refuse to walk back to the house to excuse the sound. I refuse to walk back to the house just to get the battery, to walk back those distances for the vlog. And the reason why is because I already have problems walking. For people that don't know, I already have problems walking, and it's really a pain in the ass, because I didn't have my knee braces on. I don't have my knee braces on. I don't have my back brace on. I just wanted to do something really cool to begin this vlog. But anyway, part of this vlog is to show you, and if I would have had the M50, battery, it would have been easier. But as you can see, actually, you know what? Let me turn on this light here. Okay. I'm actually cooking something, okay? I'm actually cooking something, okay? And this is, there we go. Right there, you see it? I'm actually cooking something. And what I'm cooking is an Indian, authentic Indian chicken curry. And why do I say authentic? Well, I have friends from India who taught me how to make this themselves. I did not change the recipe. Some people they like to say, oh, I made authentic, Puerto Rican rice. Now, mind you, when it comes to Puerto Rican rice, whether it's yellow rice, white rice, and beans, whatever, uh, there's at least 3 or 4 different ways of doing it, depending on what part of the island you're from. But it's not really, it doesn't vary like all that much when you get down to it. It doesn't vary all that much. It's technically it's the same stuff, except like, let's say for yellow rice, because you have yellow rice with beans or yellow rice with pigeon peas, and some people might add carrots and corn or whatever to the yellow rice. Just again, it varies. It varies per family. And I'm gonna take off my jacket. It varies per family on how it's done. or what part of the island you're from. So I've had different, like at least 4 or 5 different variations, and like I said, it all depends what part of the island. Okay, I don't know where I lost you, so I'm gonna keep on going where I was. Um, I've had at least 3 or 4 different variations of Puerto Rican rice throughout my life. My family, right? Both my mom's side and my dad's side of the family, they cook it. It's pretty much the same thing. Again, just different variations. So like some might add corn, some might add carrots, or different vegetables or whatever. Depends. Like if you're from the country, it depends if you're from the city or whatever. But it's different. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just a couple, 1 or 2 things that are just a minute difference. It's not a big deal. Now, going back to what I was saying, so, when people, they'll say, oh, I am making authentic this or I'm making authentic that. And I'll give an example. I remember I was watching, I love Rachel Ray. I love Rachel Ray, her style, her attitude, the way she cooks and what have you. But when it came down to cooking authentic Mexican food or authentic Puerto Rican food, there was an issue. Mind you, I'm not Mexican, but we do have Mexicans that married into the family, and and our family married into a Mexican family, stuff like that. I've known many Mexicans throughout the years because going to church, Spanish churches, we have a mix. We have a mix of people. We have a mix of people from, Mexican, Peruvian, Colombian, whatever, and it's pretty cool. So I've throughout the years I've had the chance to try different foods, and that's my air conditioning that's on. It is kind of hot, but when it comes to when you want to say that you're making something that's authentic, true to the culture, if you want to say you're making something authentic that's true to the culture, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get taught correctly from somebody of that culture. Again, depending, okay, like Mexican food, depending what part of Mexico you're from, right? Depending what part of Mexico you're from, it varies on the, menudo or tamales or different types of tacos or, whatever, Same thing with Puerto Rican food, like, when it comes to pasteles and pastelillos or empanadas or, what have you. Everything varies on depending what part of the island you're from. But so if you've tried the different variations from the island, or when it comes to Mexico, it's, from Mexico or any other country, it doesn't have to be a Spanish country. It could be, one of the Asian countries. It could be China. It could be Japan. It could be Vietnam. It could be North and South Korea, what have you. You have to understand that every country, every family, every region of the countries, right, they have different variations on the same food. So if you're gonna make something that is authentic, you want to make sure that you're cooking it authentic, the way people from that country would do it. If a food is spicy, like with what I'm doing with this authentic Indian curry chicken or chicken curry, however you call it, and my Indian friends always say, I call it whatever you want. So, but my point is that when it comes down to it, you want to make it authentic to whatever region. Now, like, let's say again with Indian food, we all know that Indian people, the majority, I can't say all because I've met Indian people that don't like spicy things, but a good majority of people from India, they love their food spicy, and there's different spices with different flavors and aromas and what have you. So if you know that you cannot handle a very spicy curry or something, then then that's fine to use a milder curry. But it's still authentic to the culture. Many times, again, using Rachel Ray as an example, like she said, oh, this is authentic Mexican or authentic Puerto Rican. And when it came to the Puerto Rican food, I was like, that is not authentic. She was using things that we wouldn't use, certain like ingredients, so it was not authentic. It would be the same thing with Mexican food. And I remember I was watching on YouTube. Where it's like Mexican moms critique Rachel Ray's authentic Mexican cuisine. So it was really funny because, here we go, it was like a reaction video. And as Rachel Ray is adding certain spices or whatever, mind you, these are moms, Mexican moms from different parts of Mexico, from the different regions, one from Oaxaca, one from Mexico City, one from Tijuana, whatever. And they're like, no, what are you doing? No, we do not add that. No ponemos eso, we don't add that. And I'm laughing, and I'm like, okay, so again, so what's the point of this video? With all the stuff that's going on with the cancel culture, with all the stuff that is going on with people getting butthurt. Because of certain things. Let me tell you something. I got a white friend. I have a white female friend, okay? A white female friend. And she can cook some really good, authentic Puerto Rican meals. Because she learned from an abuela, okay? And I believe it was from her ex-husband or an ex-boyfriend or something. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if she was married to the guy or they were just, because I only met her not that long ago, about a year or two ago. And we have had, but me and her, we joke around about a lot of things. And she'll post all the Puerto Rican foods that she'll be cooking. So I asked her, hey, what do you do with your thing? What do you do with your thing? What do you do with your thing? And she's like answering it word for word. Well, I do this, and I'm like, damn it, you're already Puerto Rican. You're adopted into our culture. I don't have an issue. With non-Puerto Ricans making Puerto Rican food, but keep it original to the authenticity of the island. Don't try to, if you want to say this, if you want to say something, this is my variation on a Puerto Rican dish, that's fine, but don't say, oh, it is Puerto Rican food, because it's not authentic. There's been many times where, again, just non-Puerto Ricans, they're, oh, I'm making Puerto Rican, I'm making Chinese this, I'm making Chinese that. And mind you, I know people from China. Okay? Now here's the difference, right? The food, believe it or not, Chinese food, Chinese takeout has been around in the US since the gold rush. Since the gold rush. This is, you can Google this all you want and find out for yourself. But the Chinese takeout that we know of today, it started during the gold rush with actually chop suey. So the American Chinese food that you see in the takeout, right? That's purely American Chinese, because they had to make do with what they had, with whatever vegetables were here, whatever seasoning and spices were here. And the Americans that were looking for gold and whatever, they smelled there, hey, can we buy some of that off of you? And that's how it all started. But if but like authentic Chinese food from China, I've had that. I've had, from the Sichuan province, from like so many different provinces of China, and I've had authentic, what they would cook in their house, and I would have, and there's many times where somebody would say, "Oh, I made authentic Chinese rice or something," but it's not it's not authentic to the country of China, but it's authentic to the American Chinese who created it here in America. So it's kind of like, it's like, and I love to cook. I love to learn, me personally, I love to cook. I love to learn different cuisines because I believe that food brings us together. So I want to make sure that when I eat something from another country, that I make something that's from another country, that I do it properly. I learn how to properly make it, and thankfully for YouTube, a lot of people, they're sharing their culture. They're sharing their culture with the rest of the world, and we can easily find all that stuff. But again, it's just, with the cancel culture stuff and whatever, I don't care. I don't mind. I don't mind. You want to learn how to make authentic Puerto Rican food? Go ahead. My Mexican relatives, they say, hey, mira, si if they want to learn how to make, authentic Mexican food, está bien conmigo. It's okay with me. Feel free, explore. But make sure that, don't call it authentic unless it is authentic. And again, food brings us together. I think we should all sit. I think everybody from different cultures, and they should sit down with people, just different people, and just try out their food. Now I get it, with certain religious aspects, like Jewish people, when it comes to meat, it has to be kosher. Muslim, it has to be halal. So, like, if I was gonna make Puerto Rican rice, for a Muslim friend, I'm just not going to. I'm not going to do something that will disrespect his religious beliefs. What I would do is that I would go to a halal butcher. I'll get everything halal. I'll get, and make sure I don't use certain things. Like, I'm not going to use pork. I'm not going to use anything with pork. So I would make sure that everything that I make, they can eat. If it was a Jewish person, same thing. I'll make sure that whatever meat I get, it would be kosher meat. I'll make sure that, and that's the thing. You want to be mindful of other people's culture and religious beliefs and things like that. If it was just everyday Joe Schmo, hey, whatever. If it was one of my friends from India and I'm making them, Puerto Rican rice, whatever, I'll do it with chicken because we do it with chicken, and they don't, my Hindu friends don't eat beef, so I wouldn't do anything with beef. I would do things with chicken. So again, it's just, you have to be mindful. You have to be mindful of, when you're giving somebody from a different culture the food from your culture, because we don't know what their religious beliefs are or whatever. And also when we're creating their foods, when we're doing it from scratch, we want to make sure that it is authentic. Now, mind you, certain foods, because I'm not Muslim, so I'm not gonna go to a halal. If I'm cooking it for myself, I'm not gonna go to a halal butcher to get chicken or get lamb or something. I'm not, But if I was making, but that's just because I'm making it for me. But if I was making Puerto Rican rice, and chicken and whatever for them, then I'll make sure I do, I'll do that for them. And I've done that in the past. I made sure that I went to a halal butcher. Just out of respect for my friends from these different cultures and beliefs and what have you. I think it is very important that one of the things that like in the last video where I was talking about, you know, why Christians, quote unquote Christians, really piss me off. And for me, yes, you know, we have, you know, here's how I say it. We have our differences and beliefs and our lifestyles and what have you, but let's come together as, you know, as a human race. Let's get along, you know. Let's be mindful of what have you, you know. There's just so many different things that we could be doing to better the situation. You know what I mean? There's so much that we could be doing to get to know our neighbors, you know, whether it's our next door neighbor next to us in our house, or our neighbor that is like 2 towns away, or our neighbor that is a country away. You know, let's just stop the bullshit. Let's stop the bullshit, right? Let's stop the pretense. Let's stop all the crap and actually just get to know get to know them. I think it's very important that we do that. All right, y'all. So, until next time, this is Sway. Remember, I love you all. Peace.
It's just my opinion.